Hi Allison, my name is Chelsea and I'm excited to be looking at your lesson plan. I also wrote a little paragraph excerpt on it as well, but I just wanted to go into more detail on that and then also cover more things of your lesson plan that I couldn't get to whenever we were making the 3-point paragraphs. So, from the beginning, I want to say that I really enjoyed your lesson. As I said in my paragraph, I really love science and it's always been a huge passion for me. So, from the beginning, I would just want to mention that um, the lesson plan looks really good. I would just definitely get rid of all of this blue text. Again, like it's not needed, as our professors already said, and just getting rid of that would also add some finesse to your lesson plan since it's not required. Going from the beginning, I think that your description needs to be a little more detailed. I did say that the students will learn the differences between mixtures and solutions. However, that's kind of in the objective. I think in the lesson description you should go through that they will be learning mixture solutions by doing this and then doing this and then they will do this and I will like students' knowledge will be assessed by blank. That'll really give a description of what's happening in the lesson and not just the objective of what they're trying to learn. For your ELPS, I think you did a great job. You got it for the ELPS and you have a specific one here, 2H, that you really want to focus on through your lesson, so that's good. I like how you have the cognates here and seeing if they're true or false. This will definitely help you whenever you're working with your students to decide whether you will or will not can reference that. Your technology, I like how you listed everything here and you have your resources here, so that was really well done. One thing that I really loved about your lesson is that you have a lot of questions everywhere in your lesson. And I like that they're in here. I think that it may be a nice idea to maybe bullet point them so that, especially if you have your lesson plan out in front of you, you can quickly reference the questions in the lesson plan. But I think these are really well questions that will guide your students. And especially, I love this engage because you use items that students will be familiar with. So it allows authenticity and real world application. And the students are able to actually use hands-on experiences and they you could even actually bring a salad in and have student have a salad and say how are we going to take this apart, because that would make it hands-on, like students would be able to problem solve and use that hands-on idea. And Wright mentions that in chapter 10 that these are highly motivating when they have hands-on experiences, and whenever they can enable real experiences to discover scientific concepts, it makes it even better. And it really makes it a rich language opportunity because students are able to apply what they are doing to what they are learning. So they would know that a salad is a mixture because I can physically take it apart. So I think that would be a good idea to maybe make this a little deeper for students. Um, and that's mostly what I had for this part of the engage. For the explore, I thought you did a good job where of course they can go through it and take it apart. That part was really good. It's really in depth. Again, you have a lot of questions, a lot of guiding questions, and a lot of guiding just procedures that you want to be doing. Another thing is, and I just remember this, for to have your supplies list listed on the right. So all the items that you're gonna have for your groups, just making sure that it's listed in this column. Let's see. Um, for the explain, I know that in our courses we've learned that the explain is more teacher oriented. So the students can be answering some questions, but I believe it's more like the teacher explaining. And I know you have a bit of an explanation here, but I'm not exactly too sure if that's enough because I know that the students are also having a lot of opportunity to go back and just have the discourse, which is good because it mentions it here. It's good to have the discourse. And also, I feel like this would be a really good moment to really model vocabulary, especially for the ELL students. For the elaborate, I thought that and instead of using a T-chart, giving students hands-on experiences again. And this goes back to what Wright mentioned in chapter 10, where hands-on experiences are highly motivating and it allows them to enable real life experiences. So you could have like different objects like sand or marbles or something and have them say like can like different workstations that say can students take these objects apart, and they can do a checklist and it could be like, so is this a mixture or not? And you can have like salad, you could have maybe like a type of liquid, marbles, rocks, pebbles, buttons, and have students be able to take them apart, and that will give them hands-on experiences of this is a mixture because, or this is not a mixture because. And I think that would make it just much more hands-on, and it would be a lot better for the students to actually have those experiences. For the evaluate, I liked that it gave students a chance to really write down what they had learned. But in my experiences, I've seen students when they like write down 3 things they learned, they just kind of like use, they don't use the vocabulary that they should be using for the day. So for instance, in mine, I'm having them do something similar to this where they write down what they learned, but I give them like a prompt and they just write down as much as they want. But I'm having my students, like I'm giving them vocabulary words to choose from, and they have to choose 3 out of the like 5 words or 3 out of the 7 words we learned today. And I think that would definitely help guide your students and like kind of like up the rigor of the assignment, because for your evaluate, if the students haven't, like if they don't incorporate those vocabulary words, then you can't take off points for it because technically it doesn't say that they have to. And a lot of students would argue about that. So I would definitely say to kind of like make it more, a little more rigorous, not telling them exactly what they have to do, but just say, explain what you've learned using the words mixtures, use the word solutions and things like that. Or maybe even saying like, give an example of one that you have learned of today and explain why it is a solution or a mixture. I think that would really up the rigor. Down here, I think that the special education part, you went into detail about differentiating it and everything. And I like the challenges you put down here. At the very bottom, you put that if something were to happen. And then like, you gave notes and credits. That's perfect. So yeah, mostly, overall, I love your lesson. I think it's really good. You have a lot of good engage at the beginning that will really get the students engaged and motivated and invested in the lesson. And my biggest focuses would be on just using everything you can to use hands-on, because science is a very hands-on topic and children love, anybody, like they just love getting their hands dirty with science. So I definitely think the elaborate part right here is a great part where you can definitely get some things going and have your students really doing hands-on activities. Besides that, again, great lesson, and I think it's gonna, like once you look at it again, it's gonna come out really polished, and I look forward to working with you for the rest of the semester. Have a good spring break.